Hey there, nature lovers, wildlife enthusiasts, and curious minds. We're so excited to have you here. And if you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button to join our growing community of nature lovers and wildlife enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into one of North America's most iconic and fascinating birds, a creature that was nearly driven to extinction, made a stunning conservation comeback, and was even considered by Benjamin Franklin to be a more respectable national symbol than the bald eagle. That's right, we're talking about the wild turkey. And trust us, there is so much more to this magnificent bird than you might expect. Let's get into it. What is a wild turkey? The wild turkey, known scientifically as Meleagris gallopavo, is a large, ground-dwelling bird native to North America and is one of only 2 species in the genus Meleagris, the other being the ocellated turkey of Central America. It is the heaviest member of the order Galliformes, which also includes pheasants, grouse, quails, and peacocks. The wild turkey is a bird of extraordinary character, bold in appearance, complex in behavior, deeply embedded in American culture and history, and surprisingly intelligent for an animal that popular culture has long dismissed as foolish. Far from being the clumsy, dim-witted bird of caricature, the wild turkey is a highly adaptive, perceptive, and socially sophisticated creature that has thrived across a remarkable range of environments. The wild turkey belongs to the family Phasianidae and the order Galliformes. Its full taxonomic classification is as follows: Kingdom Animalia, Phylum Chordata, Class Aves, Order Galliformes, Family Phasianidae, Genus Meleagris, and Species Meleagris gallopavo. There are 6 recognized subspecies of the wild turkey, each native to a distinct geographic region of North America. These are the eastern wild turkey, which is the most widespread and populous subspecies, the Osceola wild turkey, found exclusively in the Florida Peninsula, the Rio Grande wild turkey, native to the Great Plains and southwestern United States, the Merriam's wild turkey, which inhabits the Rocky Mountain region, the Gould's wild turkey, the largest subspecies, found in parts of the southwestern U.S. and northern Mexico, and the South Mexican wild turkey, the nominate subspecies, native to central Mexico and believed to be the ancestor of the domestic turkey. Each subspecies has adapted to its regional environment in subtle but meaningful ways, from slight differences in plumage coloration to variations in habitat preference and behavior. The wild turkey is an unmistakable bird. Adult males, called toms or gobblers, are among the most visually striking of all North American birds. They typically weigh between 11 and 24 pounds, though exceptional individuals have been recorded exceeding 30 pounds. They stand roughly 3.5 to 4 feet tall and can measure up to 4 feet in length from bill to tail. Their plumage is a breathtaking mosaic of iridescent bronze, copper, green, and gold, with each feather edged in black, creating a shimmering, almost metallic effect in sunlight. The tail feathers of a gobbler fan out dramatically during courtship displays, creating the iconic fan shape that has made the turkey one of the most recognizable silhouettes in the world. The gobbler's head and neck are largely bare of feathers and display vivid, shifting colors red, white, and blue that intensify with emotion and arousal. This bare skin is called the caruncle, and the fleshy protuberance that hangs over the beak is known as the snood, which elongates and engorges when the male is excited. A prominent tuft of coarse, hair-like feathers called a beard hangs from the chest of most adult males. Some females also grow beards, though this is less common. Male turkeys also possess sharp, curved spurs on the back of their legs, which they use in combat with rival males. These spurs can grow to over an inch in length in older birds and are a key indicator of age and dominance. Female turkeys, called hens, are considerably smaller and far more modestly colored. They typically weigh between 8 and 12 pounds and display a more muted, brownish-gray plumage that provides excellent camouflage in the forest understory, a critical adaptation for a bird that must remain inconspicuous while nesting. Young turkeys of both sexes are called poults. The wild turkey is one of the most adaptable large birds in North America. Its natural range originally spanned from southern Canada through the continental United States and into Mexico and Central America. By the early 20th century, unregulated hunting and habitat destruction had reduced populations drastically, eliminating turkeys from large swaths of their original range. Thanks to aggressive conservation and reintroduction efforts throughout the latter half of the 20th century, however, wild turkeys have not only recovered, but actually expanded beyond their historic range. Today, they can be found in all 49 continental U.S. states, with Hawaii being the exception in some counts. Much of Canada and parts of Europe, New Zealand, and Hawaii, where they have been introduced, wild turkeys prefer habitats that offer a mix of open areas for foraging and dense woodland for roosting and shelter. They are commonly found in hardwood and mixed forests, particularly those dominated by oak, hickory, beech, and cherry trees, which provide critical mast nuts and seeds as a food source. They also thrive in areas near agricultural fields, where spilled grain, insects, and other food sources are plentiful. Contrary to what many might expect, wild turkeys are strong flyers over short distances and will roost high in trees at night to avoid predators. The wild turkey is an omnivore with a remarkably broad diet. Its feeding behavior changes with the seasons, adapting to whatever food sources are most available. In autumn and winter, turkeys rely heavily on the seeds, nuts, and fruits produced by forest trees. Acorns are perhaps the single most important food source for wild turkeys in eastern North America, and the abundance or scarcity of the acorn crop in any given year has a direct effect on turkey populations. In spring and summer, turkeys shift toward a more protein-rich diet, consuming large quantities of insects, worms, salamanders, small lizards, snakes, and even small frogs. Plant matter also remains important year-round, including grasses, sedges, berries, tubers, and agricultural grains. Foraging turkeys are active, purposeful feeders. They scratch the leaf litter with their powerful feet to expose hidden food items, and they move methodically through their habitat in loose flocks, covering considerable ground each day. Their eyesight is exceptional. Turkeys see in full color and have a wide field of vision that makes them extremely difficult to approach undetected, a fact that any turkey hunter will confirm with both admiration and frustration. Wild turkeys are highly social animals, with a well-defined and fascinating social structure. Outside of the breeding season, males and females tend to live in separate flocks. Male flocks, called bachelor groups, are composed of toms and jakes, young males, who establish and maintain a dominance hierarchy through displays and occasional combat. Female flocks consist of hens and their poults, and these matriarchal groups move through defined home ranges that may overlap with those of other hen groups. The breeding season, which occurs in early spring, is when the social dynamics of wild turkeys become most dramatic and visible. As days lengthen and temperatures rise, toms begin to gobble a loud, resonant vocalization that can carry over a mile in calm conditions. Gobbling serves to attract hens and warn rival males. When a hen approaches, the tom erupts into a full courtship display. He fans his tail, puffs his body feathers outward, drags his wingtips on the ground, and struts with an almost theatrical self-importance, his head held high, his snoot engorged, and his caruncles blazing with color. This display is one of the most spectacular behavioral performances in all of North American wildlife. Dominant toms mate with multiple hens in a polygynous mating system, though subordinate males will take any opportunity they can find. After mating, hens are entirely responsible for nesting and raising the young. The hen selects a concealed nest site on the ground, often at the base of a tree or beneath dense brush, and lays a clutch of 10 to 14 eggs over a period of about 2 weeks. Incubation lasts approximately 28 days, and the precocial poults are able to walk, feed, and follow their mother within hours of hatching. Despite the hen's best efforts, poult mortality in the first few weeks of life is extraordinarily high, with predation, weather, and disease taking a severe toll. A successful hen may raise only 3 or 4 poults to adulthood in any given year. Wild turkeys are significantly more intelligent than popular culture suggests. They have excellent memories, can learn the layout of their home range in great detail, and are capable of recognizing individual members of their flock. Their senses are finely tuned for survival. Their vision is their primary defense against predators. They can detect movement at great distances, see in full color, and have nearly 270 degrees of monocular vision, giving them an almost panoramic view of their surroundings. Their hearing is also acute, and they are particularly sensitive to sounds that are out of place in their environment. By contrast, their sense of smell is relatively poor, which is why hunters can use scent with less concern than they would when pursuing mammals like deer. Turkeys communicate through a surprisingly complex vocabulary of vocalizations. In addition to the famous gobble, they use clucks, purrs, yelps, cackles, whines, and alarm putts to convey a wide range of information to flock members. Learning to interpret and mimic these calls is a cornerstone of turkey hunting and wildlife observation alike. The story of the wild turkey's near extinction and subsequent recovery is one of the great triumphs of American wildlife conservation. By the early 1900s, populations had plummeted to an estimated 30,000 birds across the entire country, decimated by market hunting and widespread deforestation. The establishment of regulated hunting seasons, the Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937, which directed excise taxes on firearms and ammunition toward wildlife restoration, and the founding of the National Wild Turkey Federation in 1973 all played pivotal roles in the bird's recovery. Today, the wild turkey population is estimated at over 7 million birds, a recovery that stands as a model for wildlife management worldwide. Culturally, the wild turkey holds a place of deep significance in American history and identity. Native American tribes across the continent use turkeys for food, feathers for ceremonial regalia and fletching, and bones for tools and musical instruments. The turkey was a central figure in the agricultural and spiritual traditions of many southwestern peoples, particularly the ancestral Puebloans. In colonial America, turkeys were a vital food source, and their association with the autumn harvest eventually made them the centerpiece of the Thanksgiving table, a tradition that endures to this day. The wild turkey has also lent its name to one of America's most famous bourbon whiskeys, has appeared on state seals and wildlife insignia, and continues to be the most pursued game bird in North America, drawing millions of hunters into the woods each spring. Today, the wild turkey is a conservation success story, a cultural icon, a sporting quarry, a subject of scientific fascination, and a living symbol of the resilience of North American wildlife. Whether you encounter one strutting boldly across a field at dawn, hear a gobbler sounding off from a distant ridge on a crisp spring morning, or simply spot a hen leading her brood of poults along a forest edge, the wild turkey never fails to inspire awe. It is a bird that rewards observation, demands respect, and tells, in its very existence, the story of a continent's wildlife heritage nearly lost, hard-won, and more precious for it. And that, my friends, is the incredible world of the wild turkey. We hope you learned something new today and walked away with a deeper appreciation for this remarkable bird. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. It really does make a difference in helping others discover this content. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on what's coming next. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Did wild turkeys surprise you, or were you already a fan? Have you ever spotted one in the wild? Drop your thoughts below. And until next time, stay curious, stay connected to nature, and we'll see you in the next one.